main source of energy in the US are non-renewable resources. Things such as natural gas, coal, and crude oil are examples of non-renewable resources. The way those kinds of resources work is that they are burned to create energy. Coal, for example, is burned to create electricity, which in turn is used to power many household items. Now, why are non-renewable resources bad for the environment? Well, to answer that question, we first must take a brief look at the history of their usage and effects in the US. Non-renewable resources can be traced back to when the Industrial Revolution first took place here in the US. According to various sources, the Industrial Revolution in the US began somewhere around the 1800s. Ever since, demand for non-renewables only increased. However, public opinion started to change. A famous example occurred in October of 1948. Donora, located in Pennsylvania, suffered an accident that will continue to remind us of the dangers of air pollution to this day. At the time, it was a small town that was host to numerous factories, which released pollutants into the air from the burning of non-renewable resources. Under a very specific circumstance, a warm pocket of air passed above the town, trapping and sealing in the pollutants from the factories. This caused the inhabitants to breathe in the toxic haze. Nearly 7,000 people reported to having severe respiratory and cardiovascular problems. 40 people died to the haze. This incident put the town into the national spotlight. Thus, the push for cleaner sources of energy began. In 1963, the Clean Air Act was passed by Congress to reduce air pollutants. In 1972, the Clean Water Act was passed to reduce water pollution. Because of these combined anti-pollution laws, the US has had relatively clean air and safe drinking water in the past decade. However, the US is still reliant on non-renewable resources and is the second largest carbon dioxide polluter after China. Therefore, people are starting to realize and make a change. Today, there are many organizations based in the US with the goal to switch to renewable resources, whether that be through convincing the public the downsides of non-renewable resources or through active campaigning. A famous organization is the ACOR, or the American Council on Renewable Energy. Founded in 2001, the goal of ACOR is to transition the US to a renewable energy economy. Renewable resources are starting to become more widespread in all aspects of American life. The three main renewable resources are wind, hydropower, and solar. Wind energy is achieved by using the wind to spin turbines, generating electricity in the process. The average commercial wind turbine has a price tag somewhere between $3 to $4 million. Another renewable source is hydropower. It accounts for 38% of the total renewable energy in the US and 6.6% of the total power usage. Energy is achieved by having water pass through a dam, creating electricity with generators. A study shows that there are about 2,500 dams in the US that can produce electricity. The total combined output of all of those dams equate to nearly 273.7 terawatt hours. For context, the average American home uses 0.000014 terawatt hours yearly. Finally, the last renewable energy is solar. It is currently the fastest growing in the renewable industry. Solar energy harnesses the sun's light and heat via photovoltaic panels and converts it into electricity. Currently, the largest solar farm in the US is located in California. SolarStar was the largest in the world at the time of its completion, 2015, and boasts up to 1.7 million individual solar panels. The reason I chose this topic was to share facts and statistics with people. Many don't know how to help the effort against air pollution, let alone how it is even caused. People can help locally by donating to organizations like the one mentioned earlier, or to invest in companies within the renewable energy sector.